In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the most common help defensive options that there are in basketball. I'm also going to be breaking down some mistakes that a lot of players make as well when it comes to help defense. So let's get down and let's check this out. So first, really quick, if the ball is at the point, you're going to have, if you're one pass away, one big step away. And then if you are two passes away, then you'll be two big steps away from your player that you're guarding. If, for example, player 1 passes to player 5, then player 1 in this case would be one big step away because he's one pass away. And then player 4 would be 2 steps away because, of course, he is 2 passes away. And then player 2 would be 3 big steps away because he is 3 passes away. Meanwhile, player 3 would move in so that because now he's 1 step away, because he's 1 pass away. I hope this is making sense so far. Now, if player 5 was to drive towards the basket, who should be playing help defense? Player 3, player 2, or player 4? There's actually a lot of different options that we do have here. One of the most common is player 2 will then move over, cut off that drive, and player 4 will move down. When this happens, player 4 is going to be looking to cut off the pass from player 5 out to player 4 and player 2 so that he can get that interception. Now he has to move down because, of course, now he's also guarding player 2, blue in this case, from cutting backdoor and cutting baseline so that there's no quick post-to-post pass off of that help. However, at a higher level, or even when we start getting into college or senior high school basketball, these players are extremely fast and defenses are sometimes not as fast. Which means that if player 2 was to help and player 4 didn't rotate down fast enough, player 2 blue will be open for a layup. Which then makes teams now do this secondary option on the drive. Instead of player 2 helping, a lot of teams will have player 4 help. The reason for this is now if player 5 is to drive and player 4 runs in to play help, player 2 is already guarding the baseline and he is in position because he's already facing the free throw line, where if player 5 was to kick out that pass, player 2 should be able to intercept. Also, we would then see player 1 sink down towards the high post or the free throw line as well instead of playing out here, because now he is also looking to protect both player 4 and 2 from receiving a pass. This option is an option that I usually start teaching at the high school level and not necessarily at the middle school level. However, I may start teaching this with my U14 AAU/rep teams because there's a lot of teams that have very quick backdoor cutters, and sometimes we just cannot keep up with them. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is when player 5 drives, the player who is 1 pass away moves in to play help defense. And while there are strategies to implement this, the biggest issue I see with this is that quick dump pass or kick out pass if you have a fast enough 3-point shooter. If your team that you're playing up against has a lot of shooters or maybe a couple of quick shooters, this 1 pass away help is not the best solution. It can be at a U10 level or a U9 level, but at a U13, 14, or even older level, this 1 help or 1 pass help side defense would then turn into a massive 3-point shot, and depending on the team, that could be a high percentage shot. So I usually tell players, even at the youngest of age groups, to never help 1 pass away. There's also a bigger issue here is if he drives down the middle and player 1 plays that 1 pass away help, they could kick it to the point. And if player 4 rotates, that's a swing pass, he could have a 3. If player 2 rotates, this could then be, of course, a backdoor or a baseline cut by player 2 for that pass to go to player 2 for a layup, which is a much higher shooting percentage in most cases. So helping 1 pass away is usually a major mistake. Really quickly, if you want to have an unbeatable basketball zone defense, make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book down in the description below. But as you can see, help defense looks like a zone defense. This is when teams can really mess up and they can say, oh, it's a zone defense. And of course now, let's say they start running a zone offense as an example. They get into their zone offense, and now you can see that it looks very similar to a man-to-man. If they set that screen, player 3 comes up, player 1 uses that screen, and let's say he attacks the basket, then in this case, with regular help defense, we would have this man pop off, and this could be a pass to player 2. Now, this is why I personally prefer, at an older age group, having the second farthest from help away, because now this pass is a lot harder to make for player 1, especially if player 1's defender is trailing him, and at this time player 3 can pop off and guard essentially both players so that this drive is totally cut off. This is a very good strategy and generally will only work with older players because they have more knowledge of the game. With older players too, they generally have better court vision as well, which can help out with that help side defense. I hope that this video has helped you. Make sure to go check out my unbeatable basketball zone defense down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.